Welcome back to Central Valley Talk COVID edition. Are you being careful? Are you wearing your mask? Are you taking care of yourself? Well, I'm going to take mine off right now because our next guest, Mark McAfee from Organic Pastures Dairy, it looks like he's sitting right beside me, but promise, my mom watches. Look, Mom, we're not by each other. We're separated by about 10 feet, I think. You feeling safe?
I'm feeling great, and I've been tested, and I'm negative, and very healthy. Yep.
Tell me about Organic Pastures, raw milk. First of all, what is that?
We've been around for 20 years now. We're thriving as a dairy. What we do is we produce milk on an organic pasture-grazed operation, milk it in our own dairy operation, take it to our own creamery on the farm, and make all of our products unpasteurized and raw. And it's a very profoundly strong gut biome food and immune system boosting food. It all makes sense because if you think about human breast milk, that's raw milk.
Right.
And nobody argues anywhere in the world that breastfeeding your children is profoundly important. It's the first food of life, and it builds the immune system. It builds that gut microbiome, and it builds all those wonderful things we really can't describe well that make babies strong when they're the weakest. Well, raw milk does the same thing for all ages. So we're doing really, really well right now.
And you're controlling everything. What goes on the ground, there's not a bunch of fertilizers and that's not the word, but non-organic things going on there.
Nothing synthetic. It's all natural. And we also bring in some really advanced food safety technology, too, with Food Safety Network and Eurofins here in Fresno, where we test all of our products to make sure there's no bad bugs in there. Right. So all you're getting is the good stuff.
The good stuff, right.
The good stuff.
Why do they pasteurize milk? I never figured that out.
It's really cheap and really easy to not worry about safety. So you can go out and get milk really cheap from lots of dairies. And the dairies have really suffered with the fact that the standards are so low because you can put anything in there and it's going to get pasteurized and rendered safe, but it also kills off the good stuff in terms of
that's what I don't get.
The proteins and things that are there.
So the poolers, we call them, they're getting milk from all over. You don't know what they're feeding those cows, and they don't know what they're feeding. Sometimes you get corn from different sources and stuff.
Who knows?
But Organic Pastures, you know what you're getting.
You know what you're getting because it's coming from one source, and you come visit us.
So you don't need to pasteurize yours.
We don't need to.
Yeah.
And we use very, very exclusively advanced systems to achieve that. That's why there's only a handful of people doing something like what we do in California. But we're the largest. We've been around for 20 years and thriving really well. Yeah, it's different. It's doing different. It's doing dairy different, you know.
Now, in the age of COVID, tell us why we should be drinking Organic Pastures.
Well, let's start by a couple things we wouldn't have thought of a year ago. We're wearing masks. I mean, you put this thing on and you look like a bank robber, you know, and you put your other mask on and you look like a surgeon. It's like all these things that we haven't really been familiar with in the past because we're really concerned about sharing a virus which has killed a lot of people in America, 180,000, probably a lot more. But what's common between the people that have died, for the most part, statistically, is they have depressed immune systems in some way. There's other things perhaps playing a part as well, but they have compromised immune system, asthma, overweight, heart problems.
It's how we're eating and functioning in our society, how we eat, how we take care of ourselves.
For the lion's share of the problems, and there are exceptions, of course, those people that are badly affected by COVID have some kind of a comorbidity, some other illness or issue going on. Well, what we're saying is, yeah, great, use your mask, wash your hands, socially distance. Those things all bring down the risk a little bit. But the one thing you don't have to put on, like a mask or wash your hands, is a strong immune system. You carry it with it, you own it, it's yours. And what is it? 80% of the immune system is the biodiversity of the bacteria in the gut. And we don't talk about that in America. And it's unfortunate because it's something all of us can own. And our consumers recognize the European studies which show that when you drink raw milk and you eat whole foods, that you have a dramatic decrease in asthma and allergies and ear infections and colds. Those are all immune related, and colds are virus. So we really have done well under COVID because consumers recognize that, boy, I need to take personal responsibility for my immune system so I don't become a victim of this virus that's coming around.
Right. So they do say, try to get it out of your nose, get into your stomach. So hopefully you have the immune system or the biodiversity, you said?
Well, the immune system, there's two parts of it. There's the innate immune system, which is the rapid response protection against everything coming at you. But then there's the adaptive immune system, which is the antibodies that come on after you've had a battle for a while. So your immune system needs to kind of have a diversity, different kinds of things coming to it on a regular basis so it can practice. It can do its immune system push-ups and have antibodies created to be able to deal with the diversity of threats that are always coming at you. But if you destroy your ability to respond to those threats, like lots of antibiotics, and you're sick and you're taking medications and you're sterilizing yourself all the time, then you become kind of immune depressed and immune compromised. So our customers, they recognize that you need a diversity of different kinds of bacteria and viruses, and you need the food to feed them, and that's what makes up 80% of the immune system. And those are the people that report generally, I'm never sick.
Yeah.
So it's one of those personal responsibility things that, yeah, wear your mask. You want to look like a bank robber or a surgeon, it's your choice, or wash your hands, social distance. Those are all interesting preliminary protections. But what about the deeper protection you always have with you? That's your immune system and your health.
Now, and regular milk, yours is really the regular milk. The milk you see on the supermarket shelf, they've ripped all that stuff out of there.
Yeah.
They superheated or whatever, and so you lose it all. But with raw milk, it's built in so you could feed your immune system.
Correct. There's nothing that's been changed from Mother Nature's intent of 1 million years of evolution where it's selected only the best will survive. And that's what raw milk is. It's the first food of life. And what it does is it actually builds the biodiversity, the different kinds of bacteria in the gut, allows your body to respond, create the antibodies, create the protective mechanisms. There's lots and lots of them, like the mucosal lining in the intestines and the killer T cells and all these kinds of things. They're deep science. But Mother Nature's figured that all out. If you eat whole foods, unprocessed whole foods, or less processed whole foods, and keep the good bugs in there and feed them well, antibiotics don't feed gut bugs. They kill them off.
They kill them all.
And if you want to have antibiotics work, if you need them someday, which you might need them, don't use them.
Don't use them because you get a resistance to them.
Yes, exactly. And antibiotic-resistant bacteria are really, really not good. So it's a nutritional pathway that people now understand pretty well. And by the way, they experience it, and then they go crazy telling their friends about it, that they're healthier and happier in their guts.
What's the brand name of your milk?
Organic Pastures Dairy.
Okay.
You'll find Raw Farm, made by Organic Pastures Dairy, Organic Pastures Dairy products. All the Sprouts have them. 450 stores in California.
My point is, if we see the word raw, can we be assured it's raw milk?
Raw, the labeling in California is very strict.
Okay.
So when the California Department of Food and Agriculture approves a label, if it says raw, it's not pasteurized. It's actually a regulated word. We are, you go to the store and you ask for the raw, you'll probably find it'll be our brand because we're about 90% of the market share here in California.
Well, I got to ask you, I go to my market, Tower Market.
Yes.
And I don't see raw milk.
We don't just deliver to them. We're at Christina's and we're both the Sprouts markets.
Sprouts and Christina's.
If they're selling just a little bit of raw milk, we were there a long time ago. We just can't afford to go there with our truck.
Yeah.
And so we go there.
One or two people are going to buy it, and
and they go to Sprouts instead.
Okay.
But yeah, the cheese, which is truly raw, the butter, which is the only raw butter.
You have more than milk. You have cheese, butter?
Butter, cream, cheese, milk, and kefir. And we're coming out with a goat milk, raw goat milk in a few weeks. So very exciting that we're going to be taking care of our customers even more than we have in the past. But it's the farm-to-consumer connection which is so unique because the farmer's fully paid, the consumer's fully nourished, and everybody's happy, and the consumer can visit the farm and see the cows, and the farmer knows who he's serving, and there's no confusion. It's really a wonderful thing going on.
So I'm going to go to Sprouts or Christina's.
Yep, here in Fresno.
Well, a couple of reasons.
Lassen's, too.
Lassen's, yeah, that's right. I'm worried about getting the COVID.
Sure.
I'm worried about getting my parents the COVID.
Right.
So I think that I think my immune system's weak. I'm always run down. I'm always tired. I'm not taking care of myself. I'm not eating whole food or raw milk. So I can start with that.
Baby steps.
Yeah.
Some sunshine's important. Activity's important. A mental mindset is good and important. But the gut biome is 80% of the immune system. So 80%. Take care of your gut. It'll take care of you.
Okay. So I think Christina's is the closest to me.
Yep.
I've seen Sprouts. There's a couple of them around.
Oh, yeah.
And Lassen's a very cool market, too.
Yes,
so
they are.
They all are. So.
They're wonderful partners, and we deliver to them every week. And if they ever run out, we run more product over to them.
Now, how many cows do you have out there?
We're milking about 750 right now.
Oh, my gosh.
We've got 500 acres of certified organic pastures, 750 cows, and they're fed very, very well. We've got wonderful shade systems. Yeah. This interesting fog, with smog we've had with the fires here in California, actually been a godsend in a weird way because remember they were predicting 112-degree temperatures?
Yeah.
It barely broke on 95
because that day it didn't get up
because the sun's been blocked by it. So the cows have done really well through this, even though they're a little bit choking on the smog.
Now, the 750 cows, which days do you get off a week of not milking them?
No days.
No days off.
Twice a day, every day.
Every cow's
all
milked
year.
twice a day?
Twice a day, every day, all year long.
Yeah, and they like to be milked. There's nothing.
They do. It's part of their process. They're creatures of habit. We've got a wonderful team. My son, my daughter, my wife, 65 employees, 20 trucks running to 400 stores. It's a living, breathing organism out there. We love people to come get
400 stores. So
450.
So in Fresno, there's 4 or 5, but
Yeah.
statewide, you're running all over the state. So that's
right.
That's great.
Yeah.
Organic Pastures, raw milk, not just the milk, but the
Kefir,
cheese. I have no
butter,
idea what
cheese.
kefir is, but you left some last time you were here. We drank the whole thing.
Yeah, that's our brand. And we just got a new brand. It's called Raw Farm. It's made by Organic Pastures. We have both those brands working with us now.
Raw
But
Farm, okay.
it's really exciting because it's consumer connected, and it's wonderful because all the feedback back we get from our consumers, we integrate into that to our brand. So it's non-GMO, and it's really, really good.
How many dairies in California are doing this?
There are the only people following our food safety standards are one. That's
Okay.
us. The other 4 are relatively small, like 20 to 30 cows.
Yeah.
And they're very limited in where they sell. So we're large compared to the rest, but there's about 5 altogether.
Well, our COVID message for today then is, of course, take care of all the things, but feed your immune system.
Feed your immune system. That you can never be taken from you. It's something you own. It's something you take with you, and it gives you a life of privilege in terms of being healthy.
Now, I know we had some graphics up and stuff, but is there a website or someplace people
Well,
can
there's a
find
couple
more?
of places you go. Organicpastures.com.
That's easy, organicpastures.com.
And the great videos there. And we're on Instagram and Facebook and all over the place. My daughter, Kaylee, is a brilliant videographer. She does a great job of creating video content.
She made those videos.
Yes, and my son's done a lot of video there. And then there's also the Raw Milk Institute to look at the science, the deep archive science that the European Union is mostly invested in, showing how it could really benefit your health.
Now, vegans are probably not going to drink the milk.
We have so many vegans drinking our milk.
Do you really? Good. 'Cause they need something.
We have a store in LA that's a vegan store, and the one exception they have for dairy products is Organic Pastures because moms that are breastfeeding, they want it for their children.
Yeah, they want that.
They get that good fats for the brain development.
But the point I was going to get to is those people who really care about cows. They'll be interested to see how
Yes.
good you take care of your cows.
Our animal welfare approved practices are phenomenal. We have fantastic. We have 1,600 feet of shades, 33 feet long, on these beautiful bed packs where the cows can stay comfortable with plenty of water and good feed during the heat. And then they have pastures all year long. So we take really good care of our animals. They can't take care of us unless we take really good care of them.
They eat all the grass they want then.
Yes, they do.
Are they? Can people go out there?
Yes, we love to have people come visit. We sell at the farm, but we also do tours. We're starting to do touring again this fall. Right now we're not on touring. This whole COVID thing's kind of crazy, but we are absolutely up for tours all the time.
Hopefully, as they're discovering the outdoors is good,
Yes,
maybe
sunshine.
some schools can get out there and
And you got plenty
get
of
a little
breeze,
break.
and social distancing is not a problem, and we can comply with all the rules that the government and CDC and everything's come up with. We can also do one thing deeper, that is get that immune system on board so you can be protected all the time.
Very good. Do we cover everything?
I think we did.
Just go to organicpastures.com, look at the film, see how they treat their cows really well, and the benefits. We only have 10 minutes to talk about it, but there's lots more that we didn't even get to cover.
Yeah,
So,
there's a lot of benefits.
Mark McAfee, organicpastures.com. We'll be back with more Central Valley Talk right after this.
Thanks, Mike.